Welcome बच्चों. Now we will start our new unit, magnetic effect of current. Our new unit is magnetic effect of current. In 10th class, you have studied something about magnetic effect of current. You have studied about Oersted experiment. This is, let me recall this Oersted experiment. In this experiment, you have observed that Oersted have taken one conductor. Suppose this is any straight conductor. We have connected this conductor to one cell with key and placed one magnetic needle nearby this conductor. So, what you have observed? When current is flown through this conductor, you will observe certain deflection in the magnetic needle. When current is flown through this conductor, there is certain deflection in the magnetic needle. Suppose if you interchange the terminal of the battery or cell, so deflection will be also reversed. So in both conditions, you can observe that whenever there is flow of current through any conductor, one magnetic field is also associated with it. तो 10th क्लास में आप लोगों ने इसको देखा था कि जब भी किसी कंडक्टर से करंट फ्लो होता है तो ऑब्वियसली जब करंट फ्लो होता है तो उसके आसपास व्हेन वी हैव प्लेस्ड दैट मैग्नेटिक निडल इट शोज सम डिफ्लेक्शन. और मैग्नेटिक निडल कब डिफ्लेक्शन शो करेगी? जब उसके आसपास कोई एक्सटर्नल फील्ड हो. तो यहां पर देखा गया कि when current is flown through this conductor there is a deflection in magnetic needle. That means magnetic field is always associated with the flow of current. तो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जो करंट के साथ एसोसिएटेड होती है, दिस इफेक्ट ओनली इज नोन एज मैग्नेटिक इफेक्ट ऑफ करंट. In 10th class we have studied this experiment. So Oersted has only demonstrated the experiment that whenever current is flown through any conductor, magnetic field is associated with it. That means he has demonstrated the phenomena. But मैग्नीट्यूड की बात हम करें, कितनी होगी फील्ड, क्या उसकी डायरेक्शन होगी, that is not explained by Oersted. So now in 12th class we will study the magnitude of magnetic field. For this, Biot and Savotte has given one empirical law. Empirical law means law that experimentally और अनुभव के बेस पर हम कोई लॉ डिड्यूस करते हैं, that is empirical law. So Biot and Savotte has given one tool to calculate magnetic field due to current carrying element at any point. So what Biot and Savotte has taken? He has taken one wire AB. If I current is flowing through this wire, what he has taken? He has taken a wire AB. If I current is flowing through this wire and he has assumed one small element dl on the wire. How much current will be flowing in this small element? Obviously, this element is on the wire only. So, small current I may be flowing. Now, if we consider any point P, which is r distance away from the wire and making theta angle from the direction of dl. What I have taken? I have taken one wire AB. I current is flowing through this wire. On this wire I have taken one small element dl and we wish to find magnetic field at any point P, that is r distance away from dl and making any angle theta from the direction of dl. So we can simply observe that at point P, obviously whatever magnetic field is produced, suppose this magnetic field is dV. This magnetic field dV, it will depends on the magnitude of current. As you increase the current, you will observe that magnetic field will increase. If you decrease the current, magnetic field will decrease. So dV should be directly proportional to I. Is that clear? dV will be directly proportional to I. That means dV is directly depending on the magnitude of current. Again, one more thing, dV will also depend on length of the wire, that current carrying element that you have chosen, that is dl. You have taken one small element dl. Obviously, if the length of the dl will increase, so you observe that magnetic field will also increase. And if length of element decrease, magnetic field will also decrease. So dV should also depends on dl. Now, simply if point P lies far away from the conductor, he observed that magnetic field, intensity of magnetic field decreases. If point P is close to the conductor, magnetic field is more. That means it will also depend on the location of point P, that is distance of point P from R. Obviously, it will also follow spherical symmetry. So again, you observe that dV will be directly proportional to 1 by R square, or in other language we can say that dV is inversely proportional to R square. Now dV is proportional to I, dV is proportional to dl, and dV is proportional to 1 by R square. So now another thing, he also studied about the location of point P. He observed that if point P lies perpendicular to dl, then magnitude of dV is large, and he observed that on the conductor itself, magnitude of magnetic field is 0. That means if angle theta is 0, magnetic field is 0. If theta is 90, magnetic field is maximum. That means now he has correlated one trigonometric ratio. कौन सा रेशियो लेना चाहिए जिसके लिए 0 के लिए उसकी वैल्यू 0 हो, 90 पे मैक्सिमम हो. Obviously we can correlate this by sin theta, because sin 0 is 0 and sin 90 is 1. So he again fourth point he has introduced sin theta. So you observe that dV should be proportional to, now you combine all these facts, I dl sin theta divided by R square. Instead of proportional, again you will write one constant K into I dl sin theta by R square. Now K is constant of proportionality. If you study about the value of K is the constant of proportionality. So value of K is given by mu naught upon 4 pi, whose value is 10 to power minus 7, where mu naught is known as magnetic permeability. This is known as magnetic permeability. Is that clear? So dV is equal to Ki dl sin theta, and K is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi, whose value is just equal to 10 to power minus 7, and mu naught is known as magnetic permeability. You are already aware of electric permittivity. Now here new words comes, magnetic permeability. Magnetic permeability, that means it is a degree of penetration of magnetic line of forces through any medium. किसी भी मीडियम की ये मैग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टी है. दैट मीन वो अपने अंदर से कितनी मैग्नेटिक लाइन ऑफ फोर्सेस को क्रॉस होने देता है, उसकी लिमिट, उसकी डिग्री के लिए हम किससे डिनोट करते हैं, म्यू नॉट. एंड म्यू नॉट इज द मैग्नेटिक permeability of vacuum of free space. So mu naught upon 4 pi in SI unit, its value is 10 to power minus 7. So now our equation becomes dV is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by r square. This equation is given by Biot and Savart. So this is known as Biot and Savart's law. This is the expression to calculate magnetic field due to current carrying a small element at any point P. Is that clear? So dV should be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. In vector form, obviously dV is a magnetic field. So magnetic field is a vector quantity. So suppose dV. In vector form, we will write mu naught upon 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. This is the vector form because I dl sin theta by r square. So in vector form I have written r cap upon r square. So dV should be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r cube. I have converted this equation in vector form. Now obviously direction of dV will be another vector which should be given by the vector product of dl and r. So obviously dV should be perpendicular to dl, dV should be perpendicular to r. This clearly indicates that dV should be perpendicular to the plane containing vector dl and r both. कोई भी ऐसा प्लेन, सपोज dl यहां पर है, this is suppose r, obviously dl cross r should be perpendicular vector. It should be perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Now you can use Maxwell's screw law. dl cross r, obviously dl cross r, so vector should be inward and dl cross r vector should be outward. Is that clear? So if you use Maxwell screw law, so in Maxwell screw law, if you are moving from dl to r, that means obviously it should be inward. If r cross dl, it should be outward. So for the direction of dV, obviously you will use Maxwell screw law. Clear हुआ? So dV should be perpendicular to plane containing dl and r. It may be inward, it may be outward depending upon the location of dl and r. So direction will be determined by using Maxwell screw law. So by Biot-Savart's law, what we are getting, dV is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by r square. This is the value of dV. Okay. So now for a small element, you have find the value of dV. Now if you want to apply this Biot and Savart's law for any current carrying conductor, so obviously we will use this formula only. We will choose one small element, and by choosing this small element we will find the value of dV, and then we can integrate this formula for whole conductor. So let's see some example, some application. These are the application of Biot and Savart's law. Application of Biot and Savart's law. we want to find magnetic field at the center of current carrying circular loop. Our aim is to find magnetic field at the center of current carrying circular loop. Suppose this is any loop. This is circular loop. Its center is O, radius is R, and holding I current. Suppose I current is flowing in this circular loop. How much current is flowing? I current is flowing in this circular loop. If we assume one small element dl on the loop, again I am repeating, I have taken one circular loop whose center is O, radius is R, and I current is flowing in this circular loop. If I have taken one small element dl on the loop, now we want to find magnetic field at the center of this loop by this small element. So again we may apply Biot and Savart's law. According to Biot and Savart's law, magnetic field due to this small element at the center of this circular coil may be given by the formula mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by r square. This should be the value of dV. I dl sin theta divided by r square. This is due to this small element. Now think about theta. Theta is the location of the point from dl. dl is along the periphery or circumference of this circle, whereas r is along the radius, and always circumference is perpendicular to its radius. That means direction of dl and r should be 90 degree. So obviously theta should be equal to 90 degree. So what you will get? dV should be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl by r square. Now this is due to a small element. If we want to extend this formula for whole loop, so obviously you will take integration. So integration of dV should be equal to integration of mu naught upon 4 pi I dl by r square. Obviously mu naught upon 4 pi is constant. Integration of dV is b. I is also constant. R. For this particular case, r is the radius of this loop, and radius of loop, it will always remain constant. What may be the position of dl? dl कहीं पर भी होगा, this radius will remain constant. So r square is again constant. You have to only integrate dl. So integration of dl should be equal to how much? It should be equal to I by r square. dl should be equal to L. dl is a small element on the loop. L means complete circumference. So your formula will become mu naught upon 4 pi. Value of L should be equal to how much? Radius is r. So value of L should be equal to 2 pi r. So it should be equal to 2 pi. Instead of L you can write 2 pi r. R and r square cancel. So again you will get 2 pi I by r. So this should be the magnetic field at the center of current carrying loop. So what we have find? V should be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi 2 pi I by r. Now for any loop we have find the magnetic field. Mu naught upon 4 pi 2 pi I by r. Loop means having only one turn. Suppose if we want to take the coil, so coil may contain large number of circular loop. Suppose number of loop in any coil is n. So this formula may be written as mu naught upon 4 pi 2 pi Ni divided by R. This is the magnetic field at the center of current carrying loop. Again 2 pi Ni by R. This is the magnetic field at the current carrying circular loop. Someone may cancel 2 pi and 4 pi. So another form may be written mu naught Ni by 2R. लेकिन मैं चाहता हूं कि आप ऐसा ही लिखें, because you are aware of this value mu naught upon 4 pi. Its value is 10 to power minus 7. So directly for numerical purpose you can directly replace mu naught by 4 pi by 10 to power minus 7. Otherwise you have to write the value of mu naught only. Is that clear? This is the magnetic field at the current carrying center of current carrying loop. Obviously, if you see the field pattern, so field pattern, how will be the field pattern? Suppose this is the loop. In lower classes you have seen that this magnetic field, depending on the direction of current, magnetic field will be perpendicular to the plane containing that coil. उस coil के plane के perpendicular direction में होगी. It may be inward, it may be outward, depending on the direction of current. So for this only you can use this simple law. If you use folded finger as the direction of current, then thumb will gives you direction of magnetic field. Suppose in this way, this is the loop, current is flowing in the loop. So fold your finger in the direction of current. In this way, if you have folded the finger, then thumb will indicate the direction of magnetic field. Suppose in this way current is flowing, then magnetic field will be downward. And if current is flowing in this way, then magnetic field will be upward. So you can determine the direction of magnetic field. It may be inward, it may be outward, but one thing is fixed, that it should be in all conditions, it should be perpendicular to the plane in which magnetic coil lies. जिस प्लेन में आपकी सर्कुलर कॉइल्स लाइज कर रही है, जिस प्लेन में आपकी सर्कुलर कॉइल्स है, उसके हमेशा ही ये परपेंडिकुलर डायरेक्शन में होगी. Now, think some for numerical purpose, how we may apply. You have written B is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi 2 pi Ni by R. Think that for one loop, you will simply write 2 pi I by R. 2 pi is the angle formed at center. 2 pi is the angle formed at center by complete loop. So we may also write this equation as mu naught upon 4 pi. Instead of 2 pi, I have written 5 into I by R. Where 5 should be in? It should be in radian. If you are using complete loop, then obviously value of phi should be equal to how much angle it will subtend at the center? 2 pi. So phi should be equal to 2 pi. Suppose you have taken half loop. For half loop, what should be the angle? Phi should be equal to pi. So your formula become B is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I by R. Suppose angle is 30 degree. 30 degree means pi by 6 radian. So now instead of 5, what you will take? B should be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi by 6 into I by R. This should be the formula. So you can easily find magnetic field at the center of any current carrying loop. It may be complete loop, it may be half loop, or it may be 1/4 loop. What may be the angle it is forming at the center. So you can find the magnetic field. Is that clear? So this is our first application of magnetic field at the center of current carrying Okay. In next session, we will use Biot and Savart's law to find some more cases and to calculate magnetic field at any point. Thank you.